everybody, it's Usernamekate and welcome back to my channel. I bet you're thinking, Kate, you've ridden this bike, you've already reviewed it. I know, but I'm in Portugal on a BMW dealer launch day and I've got the opportunity to ride it again. So I thought I would ride it today in sunny, dry conditions where I can really give it a bit of a spanking compared to the potholed ruts of Trafford Bowland and really see actually what I do think about this bike after using it what it's intended for. So if you're interested to find out how I get on the twisty, turbulent roads of Portugal, keep watching. Right guys, so I'm back on the R12 Nine T. Now when I heard I was riding this bike in Spain, not Spain, wrong country Kate, when I heard I was riding this bike in Portugal, I thought, oh, I've actually, just done my whole in-depth review, walk around, ride, first impressions on this bike when I borrowed Halliwell Jones and Motorrad in Chester's R12 Nine T. So if you haven't seen that video, I definitely recommend checking it out because that video is going to probably go into a lot more detail than I am on this one. In this video, I am purely just having fun on some Portuguese twisties, which I didn't get to experience the first time I reviewed the bike because I had the Trafford Bowland and it was absolutely Baltic and the roads were just grim. So at least we can actually kind of test the performance side of this bike in this video. Now I've just jumped off the R12 and I got off that thinking, you know what, I actually prefer the R12 to the R12 Nine T. But now I'm back on this one, oh, I don't know if that's the case, I don't know if that's the case. Yes, I absolutely love the ergonomics of the R12. I love it. The foot position is a lot less sporty than this. The bars are a lot more comfy, like so upright. Whereas the R12 Nine T definitely has that aggressive sportiness that the original R9T had. So for those of you that don't know, they brought out the R9T originally to celebrate 90 years of Motorrad. And then they brought the R12 Nine T out after 100 years. And I think it does slot in real nicely with the range. It does make sense for those that don't want such a sporty and aggressive, air and oil fueled boxer twin. You've got the R12, which certainly ticks that box. But for those of you that do want to have a bit of a hood and a bit of a spankage, this is probably the option for you. Now, I did ride the R12 Nine T a little bit more after my initial review, and the deceptively sporty riding position, it did take a toll on my body a little bit when I was doing some, pretty big motorway miles. And just riding that R12 then just really made me appreciate its laid-back riding position and the fact that it's missing a bit of horsepower. The R12 has 95 that comes in at 6,500 revs. This has 109 that comes in at 7,000 revs. Even though it's a little bit down on power, in that rock mode it didn't feel like it was significantly down on power. But then again, we've been riding some pretty tight twisties, as you can see today. So we're not really I've not had a chance to compare in detail top end speed of these bad boys. But just for usable talk around twisties like this, the R12 for me had ample power. Now certainly where I think an R12 Nine T would be better for a heavier person, but unfortunately you have to have a longer purse strings. Where it benefits a heavier person is in that adjustable suspension. It's derived from BMW's sports bike, and for example, Tim in front, he weighs a significant amount more than I do. He actually quite struggles with the suspension on the R12. He bottoms out, you know, everywhere. If you look back at that video, you'll see him bouncing around and you can see what it's like from a suspension point of view. I don't have that issue. I'm a weed, you know. Oh, I don't know why we stopped, but I'll just stop here. So yeah, Tim is in his element. He's not bottoming out. I think he still struggles with the shock on this bike, but more so with it on the R12. He said he feels like it's getting shoved up his backside. But I personally, at my weight, and my weight fluctuates between like 9 and late 9 stone, I'm not having any issue with the suspension on either bikes. It's definitely softer and plushier on the R12, but not wallowy. It's not wallowy, and I like that. We're back off. Wow, look at this! Booyah! What a bridge! So yeah, for those of you who didn't watch my initial video, this bike is significantly more muller than the R12. The R12 starts at £11,990. This starts at £14,460. But yeah, this has got some decent rubber on it, like a real sporty rubber, which I really like. It's also got a 17-inch front wheel instead of the 19 on the R12. And yeah, it feels sporty. It is a handling machine, to be fair. So with this, you've got all the good stuff like dynamic traction control, we've got the ABS Pro, it's all cornering, we've got the decent brakes on the front, we've got Brembo, 4-piston radially mounted monoblock calipers on two 310mm discs. You know, we got that great adjustable suspension, fully adjustable, and it looks pretty fancy on the top of the yokes there. Looks pretty fancy. In terms of engine performance, so this bike isn't A2 compliant, I'm afraid. But it does mean that it has more horsepower than the R12. But yeah, it's definitely got a more sporty riding position, definitely more aggressive, definitely more weight over the front bars, which in turn does lead to a bit more front end feel, which is quite nice when you're on country lanes and twisty bends. The seat also, I find this seat so comfortable. Wang it round, wang it round, wang it round. Oh, look at the view here. I mean, don't focus too much on the edge because I don't want to fly off it. But oh my gosh, if I lived here, I'd just pitch my camera up there and film with that view in the background. Oh, gorgeous. Fourth gear that, just handling it all so nicely. I am going to drop to third, just for a bit more zest in my life. Woohoo! We love these kind of roads, yeah. Let's go. because I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away, but I know that I won't stop, because you know I gotta win every day. See, they don't really want to pop me, just know that you would never stop me, and I know that I can be a little cocky. Oh, you're never gonna top me. Every time I come and get it, then I gotta go, and then I gotta move, and I can't rap. I'll leave that to Buster. Oh, flowing, yeah. Oh, this bike is great for that, to be fair. I was so committed to thinking that I preferred the R12. Do you know what? I suppose different bikes have different purposes. If I was somebody that just liked a Sunday ride out with a bit of a hustle, you know, have a bit of a get your groove on, get moving and shaking, the R12 Nine T, 100%, because it is quite aggressive. It's deceptively aggressive, and I like that. The extra power is quite nice, and the extra suspension benefits, you know, a bit of a sharper rake for, you know, going around corners a bit easier. Not that it's hard on the R12, just to confirm. Then this would definitely be the bike. But if I was somebody that really liked the bobber style of bike, you know, like a less modern retro, more cruiser bobber, and if I was somebody of, you know, my weight, you know, if I wasn't heavier, then the choice for me would be an R12. So yeah, it's tricky. I thought, oh, it's the R12 actually for me, and I've got back on this absolute shredding machine. It's kind of hard to commit. So yeah, tricky one really. Bit of a tricky one. But yeah, my dislikes about this bike are still there, in the sense that I don't like that we don't have a fuel gauge, and the fact that I do find the foot pegs quite slippy. Now, I haven't found them as bad today, but when I did ride the R12 Nine T in the UK, I was riding in quite a lot of rain at times, and it just exacerbated the slippiness. So again, I could probably benefit with a bit of a grippier peg. But weirdly, I haven't felt that slippiness with the R12, but your feet are more further forward. You're not so perched on the balls of your feet in quite a sporty riding position, so I think that actually contributes to the slippiness of the grip that my feet have on the pegs. It'd be nice if the indicators self-cancelled. Again, these criticisms translate to both. Like, self-cancelling indicators on the R12 would be nice. Also a fuel gauge would be nice on there as well. But I don't suffer with the slippy pegs. No slippy pegs for me. Arrived back at the hotel. I've just realised I'm actually matching the bike, so green. Now, I know that a lot of you won't have seen my initial review, and you'll probably be very angry if I don't show you the bike like this and walk around it with the camera on. So that's what I'm going to do. So if we just look at it visually, if we have a look at it aesthetically, this one has got the twin clocks, which is a standard issue with this bike. You can spec it with a digital dash if you want. We have LED lights on this. You can spec this with a Headlight Pro, £200. You get cornering lights. We've got proper meaty forks on this, which have more suspension travel than on the R12. Twin discs at the front, Brembo calipers. It's got good braking equipment on there. Everything's getting a little bit mucky down there, but we've got the cylinder heads here. This is different. We don't have that big air intake thing like we did on the R9 T. Here we've got a little twizzly knob for preload. Single-sided swing arm, shaft driven, so it takes away that maintenance element with a chain. If we have a look here, we've got the indicators. We do have a separate backlight. We've got a big chunky wide seat. Lovely tank, 16 litres. We have the exhaust on this side. We've got some sporty rubber on this. We've got some Conti roads. This has that beautiful brushed aluminium look as well, which is just so tasteful. This has been spec'd up with the SP Connect phone mount, which has got vibration dampening, as you'd expect from the likes of Quadlock and Peak Design and all those kind of guys. It also has connectivity with the app, which you can use the Wonder Wheel, as I call it. This one has been spec'd with the comfort pack, so we've got the heated grips, we've got the cruise control, we've got hill hold, and we've got the quick shifter and auto blipper as well. But yeah, I thought it would be a bit crummy to end the video without walking around it and just showing it you. Guys and girls, I hope you have enjoyed this video, actually getting to put a nice shift in and have a good hoon on some decent roads with some dry weather. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. It always helps my channel, you know I'm always grateful. And until the next time, see you later. Stay safe, ride safe, and I'll catch you on the next vlog.